Okay, we are live. Welcome to the Ask Me Anything Sunday night show. This is episode 37. And yeah, just gonna roll in a little bit while waiting for everyone else to log in over here. So if this is the first time you watch this, especially if you're watching the replay, which a lot of people do, I totally understand that. This is Jason. If this is the first time we meet, welcome to my world. Welcome to the Facebook Ads Transformation Group or my YouTube channel. Now, what I do here over this Sunday night show is really to answer your questions about Facebook advertising and digital marketing. So if you have any questions at all, post them into the comment. Even if you're watching the replay, I will bring them up, but do not expect me to answer your questions if you're commenting on my YouTube videos and every other things, right? Because I don't actually. For those who follow me, you would have known that. You can post your questions and you can only find the answers over here. Every Sunday night, I will answer your questions over here, right? So yeah, a bit of introduction if you're new to us, if you're new to my world, my universe, like Jason. What I do is I help businesses actually navigate success in Facebook advertising and digital marketing. I'm a Facebook Blueprint certified professional since 2017. And I'm also a Facebook preferred marketing partner since 2020. So the idea here is, I've been helping brands big and small navigating success in terms of managing their campaign for them. So I was thinking maybe it's time for us to really gather whatever I've learned to help more people grow. So that's the reason why I started training in 2016. Over the years, I'm very lucky because I get the opportunity to learn with over 5,000 individuals from 20 over countries right now. So I specialize in teaching about Facebook advertising and business coaching as well. So yeah, if you're watching this, pop your hi. I can see Sri is here. Sri, hi. How are you, man? I'm good. Thanks. How are you? Right. It's I think you attended one of my classes. Wow, it's good to see you back again, man. So yeah, everyone else who are here, let's pop your questions. If you have any of them, put them into the comment. I'll bring them up. Okay, now I'm just gonna roll into some of the questions that you brought up. That you either email it to us or you actually post them in my YouTube channel as a comment, or you actually kind of post them in the group as a comment as well. Like I said, I don't answer your comment directly. I will only answer them via, in this Ask Me Anything session over here. So yeah, while you're doing all your commenting, I'm just going to bring my screen up and really look at some of the questions that I was, asked. Okay, so this is really the first question that I received my recent student to my 6-day challenge. If you guys are watching this and you want to get serious about Facebook advertising, I strongly recommend that you join my 6-day challenge, because that's where I would really break down to 6 lessons. Now it's a evergreen already, meaning that you sign up, you can start learning right away without needing to wait for the date to come, and you can keep the videos as many times as long as you want, and you can do the replay as much as you want. So yeah, a 6-day challenge is essentially 6 lessons, essential lessons that I believe are important to help you understand how to do Facebook advertising right. So for those who have went through my 6-day challenge, you probably can share with whoever it is, right? How do you feel about the 6-day challenge? And so that's how you go. So for this question that I have, I actually did a quick note over here. In fact, it's like a whole essay paragraph over here, but I can break it down to 3 main questions. But let's read a bit from here. So in my 6-day challenge, I did mention that, every profile can technically only have 1 business manager account. We can only create 1 business manager account because there are certain restrictions. However, she's saying that, the friend mentioned that you can create multiple, and she followed the steps and she did. Now, here's the thing. There are certain ways that you can use to create multiple business manager account. But the question here is, why do you want to create multiple business manager account? Like, for example, I do have 4 active business manager account. However, I have my reason of creating them, of course, because of my work purpose and all that. But for you, my question to you here is, why are you creating multiple business manager account? Is it for multiple business entity or anything else? You see, here's the thing. Even though you can create multiple business manager account, however, when it comes to business manager verification, in order to verify a business manager, you need to verify with a valid business registration document, meaning that if you have 4 business manager, for example, you want to verify all of them, you need to have 4 companies and tied to different website, which is a verified website that is, really live out there. So unless you have a very solid reason you want to create multiple business manager, I would strongly recommend that let's not complicate things. That's why, you see, when it comes to Facebook advertising, there are a lot more complicated things that you can do at the back. But as you say, you're a beginner over here. If I give you all these, you're going to get brain dumb. You're not going to, I mean, these are all unnecessary things that you shouldn't be looking at. So yeah, however, since you created another business manager account, then you have to consider whether you want to keep both of them or you want to keep either one of them. You have to really understand why are you doing that. Okay, so that's what I'm really urging you to do. So the next question I interpreted from this overall question is, I believe you're also asking, can you claim a Facebook page under multiple business manager account? Here's the thing. In fact, it's not just about claiming a business page anymore. Things that will get a lot more complicated. Like for example, you want to tie your pixel, because the moment you build your aggregated event and your pixel and all this kind of thing, right? All these are business manager level bound. Meaning that if you claim a domain under one business manager, you cannot claim it under another business manager anymore. It's very much on that. So yeah, the more BM you have, the more complicated it gets, right? However, back to the question, one page can only be claimed under one business manager. Okay? So one page can only be claimed under one business manager. So let's say, for example, you have business manager A already claimed this page. Now, if you want to transfer the page to business manager B, then business manager B will have to claim it again, and business manager A will have to release it. So yeah, it's a business manager level kind of dealing already. So things can get a bit complex if you do not know how to navigate this thing. That's why I always come back to the very root question. You see, here's the thing. I always like to tell people, if you do not understand what you are doing, stick to the default thing and follow whatever other people are saying. So that's what I think. But however, yeah, if you are asking about the other side of it, is whether you can claim a page under multiple business manager, the answer is no. You have to release from one BM to another. Okay, so the third question that I interpreted from this one, because towards the end of it, you're saying that should you claim the same page for multiple ad account, then I would interpret from this angle that you are trying to create multiple ad accounts for the same page. Now, that is another angle of looking at this question already. So if you want to have multiple ad accounts for the same page for various reasons, let's say, for example, one is probably you have a sponsor that you want to run ads so that the sponsor will have access to see whatever you have done in that. And the other one is for your own. But both are running ads using the same page. I have a lot of students are doing that. That you can do it within the same business manager anyway. Because as you probably know, or not, I'm not sure, one business manager can have multiple ad accounts. Okay, so you can create multiple ad accounts. But of course, as a new business manager, you can only create one. And then once you get active with it, you can create the second one. Now, the second one is more active, then you can create the third one. And another thing, coming back to this question, since you're at this level of discussion, right? You want to make sure that you focus on one business manager unless you know what you're doing. Like we are having multiple because we have other usage for that. But if you are only running a very simple structure, focus on one business manager, because the longer you nurture the BM, the better your credit gets, and eventually you will be able to create more ad accounts under it. You can do a little bit more things under it. So that's why, yeah, do not complicate things. I think seriously, you can read a lot of things, 1,000 articles and watch 1,000 videos. But yet again, I always come back to the very basic question, which is what are you trying to do and achieve? So if you're not clear, get clear on that first and find the best solution. So yeah, I hope I answered your question. Thank you so much for that. Now let's move on to the next question. But meanwhile, if you have any questions, pop them in the comments. Since I'm actually doing the screen share, I won't be able to read your comment. I will do it later. And I'm going to go through a few questions over here first. Now, this is another question. This is a question posted on I don't think he's related to the video that I posted anyway. So this is from Gomez. Gomez has been quite active for a while. So, so Gomez is asking, how old does a personal Facebook account has to be before you can create a business manager or ad account? Or what are your thoughts in using a personal ad account in creating ads instead of the ad account of the business manager? Now, there are two questions over here, yet again. So first question is, how old must a personal profile be in order to be able to create a business manager? We had a discussion the other day in my inner circle group coaching. I think one one of my students was telling me that he was actually nurturing an account for a month plus now and still not able to create business manager. So yeah, probably that's kind of like over there, you know. In fact, if you want to create a business manager, and if you're having some scenario where you have your ad account restricted or even your profile restricted, I think that's one of the main reasons why people create new business manager. You can actually get someone else's Facebook profile to create a business manager, a real one, of course. Like for example, if you have your dad who has a Facebook account and he is not doing business on it, right? So you say that, hey, dad, can you actually borrow me your business, your Facebook profile? I use that to create a business manager, and it make me probably my new profile as an admin. Then after that, my dad will become the backup admin to the business manager. He doesn't need to have access to any of the pages or ad account, but you become the person who is actively managing it. So I think that's kind of like a way that you can work around, because some business cannot store for that long. You talk about a month or two, that is already a big disaster to a lot of businesses, right? So yeah, you can actually use that workaround. Now, on the other hand, you probably is asking, what is the difference between personal ad account and business manager ad account? In fact, if you're looking at the surface, it's almost the same, because personal ad account is usually linked to a personal. And when you're doing it with personal, then you can still link with a Facebook pixel and a few other things in the back end. It's just that you won't be able to do business manager level kind of role assignment. Yeah. So which means if you have a personal ad account, if you want to assign somebody else to come and manage that ad account for you, you have to be friend with that person, bring them in as individual, and things can get a bit kind of like, messy sometimes. You forgot to delete them and they actually steal your stuff and all this kind of thing. But when it comes to business manager kind of level, it's very easy to assign role to even outsider of your organization to come in and manage your business manager or ad account or page. So that's kind of like the things that is really, the difference between them both. But in terms of usage of it, I would say it's pretty much the same. If you go through my 6-day challenge, I do have a quick advice that you can actually have both. If you have been running ads using a personal ad account, then keep it that way. And then when you create a business manager, you create a new ad account for it, so you have a backup. So if there is anything happen to your business manager ad account, or either way, you have a backup to fall back to, meaning that you don't need to really store your ad for too long. You can just use the other ad account and start running ads and do whatever that needs to be done. But if you have this kind of scenario, then you probably want to make sure that the pixel is being assigned. And all this, yet again, is coming back to the business manager level already, you see. So yeah, I would personally prefer the BM level thing, simply because it's a lot easier for me to really like assign and manage under the organization level. Yeah. So yeah, Junior, thanks for the question. Then we are, we were through to actually do. I mean, I received a lot of questions about account restricted recently. Either you are permanently banned or whatever reason it is, right? So we have another question coming from Ryan, and Kakuja was saying he or she was facing the same problem, which is you never posted ad and you are still restricted. Your review was denied. Now, there must be some reason why they deny your review. You only need to go into your solution center or whatever it is, right? So they will always give you the next step. Unless you're already coming to a point where you are already being totally restricted, permanently banned, the decision is final. That one can only happen unless you really did some shit. Meaning that you run some nasty ads, you did some crazy things with your personal ad account or your ad account or your Facebook page or even your personal profile, else everything is mild. If it's only being denied, depending on what are the scenario, it could be because of your ID was not being reviewed. If you say you haven't run ads before, it shouldn't be the ad account issue. It should be your personal profile issue. So you should actually work on the ID verification level kind of thing. Get it fixed. If they don't accept your identity card, then you can actually do driving license or passport. Anything, just try. Or probably the other angle I might look into this is your Facebook profile is just new and you actually created it because you are trying to create an ad account out of it or business manager out of it. You want to play game something. And Facebook, like I mentioned, Facebook is really strict about new profile right now. So if you have a new profile, I would strongly recommend that you brew it for a while. Okay, do some activities, do some regular posting even though you're faking it. do more friends connection, commenting a little bit, just to make it look a little bit more real before you do anything. So if you are having issue because you never run ads before, because it's a new profile, and the moment you want to do things, it got restricted, is because Facebook detected that your profile might be too new, and hence suspicious. Okay, so I hope I answered your question, Ryan and Kakuja. Thank you so much for popping in. Then we will move to the next question. Now, this is Ernest Annabelle. Ernest Annabelle is also surrounding about, business manager permanently banned and all this kind of thing. So the question here is, should I create a new business manager account or should I create a new personal profile? Both are, I would say both are viable route, but it depends how bad is the situation now. If you have, here's how it works, right? If you have permanent ban, here's the thing. If you have permanent ban, whether your business manager is permanently banned or ad account is permanently banned, it affects your profile. So technically your profile is being flagged. Your profile will not be able to create ad account anymore. You won't be able to create business manager anymore. So I would say the best bet for you, for Ernest, if they don't give you a damn reason, sometimes they are that nasty, I think you need to create a new profile. However, you don't use this new profile to create business manager right away. Like I suggested, you can actually use some other people's Facebook profile that has been real and running for a while. You just use that profile to create a business manager, and then you come in as in your new profile will come in as an admin, and you do whatever things inside. And of course, the person who owns that account, you can actually make him or her a backup admin. So he or she will only be the admin to the business manager, but you don't need to assign role to any pages or ad account to him or her. So that will give you a backup admin. And I will always strongly recommend to have a backup admin, simply because when you have issue, right, when you hit into some shitstorm and all that, right, you can have the other person's profile as an entry point to go into your business manager or do things for you. So that's kind of like recommended if you ask me, all right? So yeah, I would say get somebody else's personal profile to create a business manager, and you use a new profile to go in and manage. It's kind of like the only way. So permanent ban is nasty, I know. It's really bad, and it actually affects your profile. So that's why my last piece of advice, since we have been talking about this crazy thing about banning and all that, play by the rules, please. Always go back and understand from Facebook advertising policy, Google Facebook advertising policy, and read thoroughly about what you can do or can't do. Make sure you're not making any mistakes, because mistakes can be costly, especially on Facebook and Instagram platform, because you are having too many things connected in it. All right, so that's kind of it. And especially for the person who asked about the business manager level kind of thing, then you have to really consider why do I have to have so many business manager and whatnot, right? So yeah. Anyway, so these are all the questions that I have. But before I go and come back into your comments, I want to quickly give a quick shout out about this thing. Yeah, in fact, this afternoon we just wrapped this first session ever monetize Facebook group challenge. Now this is a new 3-day challenge. 3-day challenge as in I will teach you live for 3 days about how to you actually monetize Facebook group. Now here's the reason why I created this program. You see, for the past 10 years, I've been running ads for a lot of companies. I've been teaching a lot of people running ads. A lot of people tend to start with advertising because it's the fastest, shiniest object around, because immediately you know that you throw in some money, you're able to get some revenue out of it, you'll get some result out of it. So a lot of people keep on focusing on running ads and running ads. So let me give you an example. You have been running ads to drive new customers to your Facebook store, to your Shopee store or to your e-commerce store, for example. Now, you know for a fact that the cost is always rising and the behavior is always changing. So if you are always focusing on getting the front end coming in, you will have trouble from time to time to maintain the stability. You will have lesser, it will have, sort of like a lot more uncertainty, because there are many reasons that will cause the ad performance to fluctuate, right? However, one area that a lot of people are missing or not paying attention to is to nurture your existing customers. So what we are doing here is that we are using Facebook group as a nurturing platform. So one of the angle is You can actually create a Facebook group to allow all your customers to come in and mingle. So you can actually create some very exclusive content for them, very exclusive deals for them, and you can actually make them buy more. And you know what? The moment they become your customer, it's very no-brainer for them to join your group if you are providing them some extra deals and whatnot. And we are in your group. When they are in your group, it's a lot easier for you to communicate your deals to them and all that. And you know what? The moment they start buying, because of all the sharings that you post in the group, you get extra money without needing to pay any ads, right? So on the other hand, if you're running like businesses for B2B, or for example, you do lead generation, the idea here is you have been running too many lead gen ads. Let's say you convert 3%, which is awesome already to a lot of people. Now, what about these 97 phone numbers? Let's say 97% of all these phone numbers, email address, and all these people that indicated intent and interested, but you contact them, they are not interested at that point of time. What are you doing to nurture them? That's exactly the question that you should be asking. We want to start paying attention to the nurturing. And to be frank, in the past 1 year, I've seen tremendous success when I'm actually able to nurture my Facebook group in a meaningful way. And look, some of you guys are in my Facebook group, all right? So that is really a proof that if you do your Facebook group right, you're able to convert. So I teach in 3 days, how do you start the group in the right way? How do you nurture your group, and how do you monetize your group in 3 days? So every day, 1 hour. All right, so this is the link to join. We just read our first one, so I'm very proud to present a bit of a testimonial, so so-called the aha moment. So I was actually asking for what are the biggest takeaway from this 3-day program. So TC was saying, the first one over here, TC was saying, he now has a better idea about how to plan content ahead. You see, this is the big thing. To be frank, when you want to do a Facebook group, right, the biggest challenge is what am I supposed to post? So I'm going to even give you a 90-day content cheat sheet that you can actually look at it. Probably some ideas to post from time to time. So Krista actually learned about the 2-step Facebook ads funnel, which is what I'm famous for. Yes, although it's a group thing, I will teach you Facebook advertising strategy specifically designed to help you promote your Facebook group. That's cool, right? So yeah, so this is where we discussed about the Facebook ads a little bit on day 2. And Richard was saying, he said he now know how to use Facebook ads to get prospective members into group, which is exactly the same thing I was saying. And Boy was saying the biggest takeaway will be having clarity in managing groups, especially driving customers from e-commerce to the own site. So yeah. And Richard was saying binary decision content. Instead of thinking what to do, right, I give you A or B, either this or that, which makes it so easy for you. And Intan was saying the biggest takeaway is to know how to nurture the group. Often lack of ideas to post, and now you have it, right? So Yanli was saying the idea of nurturing an existing leads is the key main takeaway from this challenge. So that's the reason why I'm excited to inform you that the next Monetize Facebook Group Challenge is coming up in the last week of August on 27 to 20. Oh, wait, I have to take on the late. Look at the date. 24th to 26th. It's a Tuesday to Thursday, 3 p.m. Malaysia time for an hour. So the replay will be available inside the Facebook group 3 days after, for another 3 days, after the final training. So yeah, sign up. It's a no-brainer. It's a very awesome program. I would say I'm very proud of this program after going through it for the first round. And I'm really excited to invite you to join this again. It's going to happen on 24th to 26th. Nonetheless, go to this link and sign up. TribeUpAcademy.com/group challenge. That's where you go in. All right. So yeah, so that's what I have for the moment. Let's come back to the over here. So yeah, Sri was saying you're good. Happy to know. And Excel, hi, kick-ass nation. I like that. Okay, right. Sri is asking, can you help understand the exclusion audience process in Facebook? Okay, now you did go through my 6-day challenge, right? If you kind of still don't get it, I would strongly recommend that you go through that again. If you did buy the recording, then awesome. But if not, you can now sign up again to really keep the recording for life. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to exclusion, this is the most important thing. You see, exclusion, the idea is very simple. Exclusion is one of a very important element about my 2-step funnel framework, okay? Now, let me give you an example. We do exclusion a lot, and that's kind of the way that we can really optimize our advertising campaign. But wait, let me bring up, if I'm able to, let me quickly bring up my 2-step funnel framework. Wait, give me a minute. All right. 3-day challenge, 2-day challenge. Let's do this. Let's see. Okay, now here's it. Let me bring the screen up. Let me share the screen. All right. So can you see the screen? All right. So this is a T1, T2 ad. Now this is really my two-step funnel framework. Now usually when it comes to two-step funnel framework, we have 2 ads running simultaneously. Now the first ad is this. This is my first ad where I'll be using video. I'll probably just click play. I'll do video, and this is a video. It's like a slideshow, meaning that I combine multiple images into a video. All right, and then I created instant experience for these people to browse further if they are not interested, and of course if they are really interested, they can click on the button at the bottom to go over and buy. Now this advertisement itself will actually qualify the audiences using multiple angles. First is, if you watch this video up to 50%, I will consider that as an intent. Now, if you click on this and open the instant experience, I will consider that as even a stronger intent. And if you purchase, that's another thing. So essentially, one of the biggest mistake or biggest thing that a lot of people don't do is you do not know how to exclude people from seeing the same ad again. You just imagine people who have purchased, the person shouldn't see this ad again, the tier 1 ad, agree? And even for the person who have clicked on this or watched the video up to 50%, you have very little impact even if you keep showing the ads to them again and again. Why? Because to them, they have seen it, they have consumed it. Keep coming back to them will not make a difference. So that's the really important key about exclusion. You need to learn how to exclude them, push them away from seeing the same ad. In that case, when you have all your exclusion done right, your T1 ad, which is the evergreen ad, will become an evergreen ad, as in like evergreen ad that will always constantly go out to help you bring fresh audiences into the framework. So that's the best thing. So this is really about the exclusion. So yeah, and then after that, you can do your retargeting, which is T2 ad. So this is really the most important thing about my two-step funnel framework. It's really powerful. If you want to learn this, anyone who is watching this, right, I urge you to join my 6-day challenge. Go to my website, tribeupacademy.com, and look for 6-day challenge. This is where I teach you in 6 lessons, 6 hours, all together, to teach you how to build the two-step funnel framework. It's a very powerful framework that is actually powering thousands of Facebook advertisers around the world, and to see different results altogether. It's a very powerful thing. So do that, okay? But thanks for the question, Stream. Now let me go to the next one. You see, this is another question that is very similar. At Rico, so you were saying that you don't have a website, you only have a Shopee platform. Can you do retargeting without using Pixel? Yes, I can. This is an example. Exactly, they don't have a website. They're only driving people to Shopee, okay? So what I'm actually using to retarget is actually the slideshow and, of course, the instant experience click. So this is the power of two-step funnel. You don't need to really have a website to retarget. And in fact, right, because now we have this iOS 14 issue and all that, a lot of times the reporting may not be 100% anymore. So what we are doing here is we are using a lot of Facebook native content structure, such as video, such as instant experience, such as a lot of things like Messenger Open and all this kind of thing, right? As our audience qualifier to actually qualify them as intended audiences with high interest, and we start serving them the tier 2 advertisement, which is over here. This is the retarget. So you can essentially do retargeting advertising even without a website, without Pixel, because Pixel is only one way to do custom audience. There are many things. So if you want to learn this, same, join my 6-day challenge. But if you're on Shopee, you can actually go to my website and look for Facebook ads for Shopee. That is really the most powerful Facebook ads training for Shopee sellers or Lazada sellers or any e-commerce marketplace sellers. You should go through that. It's very powerful. Okay, go to that. Okay, thanks, Edsel. Thank you so much for the question. Let's see who else. Okay, now, so this is 3 follow-up to the question. All right, so he's saying, if you create a 30-day exclusion list, will it take, let's say, previous 30 days, or as people keep filling the lead form and it will be excluding on day-to-day basis or anything else? So when you come back to this exclusion, let me take this screen down so that I can come back to this. So if you do exclusion, previous 30 days, or as people keep filling in. Oh, you mean that? Oh, you mean you're creating an exclusion of people who fill up the lead form? All right, so that's a good one. It's a progressive block. So if you do 30 days, that means that if I submit lead today, okay, I will stop seeing the ad for the next 30 days. But I might come back on 31 day. You might come back to me on 31 day. Okay, so this is it. So the 30 day is a moving block. So all these audience, they will come in, first out. So if you do exclusion as 30 days, meaning that your audience may see the same ad again on the 31st day and onwards. So if they, so if you are doing lead generation, here's the thing. Let's say if you're talking about exclusion for the ultimate action, which is like people who submitted lead, people who purchased, people who did something, ultimate one, you can actually exclude them for, longer period, because you don't want them to come back and repeat as another lead, because they have already given you their phone number. They shouldn't be seeing ads anyway. I might even go to the extent where I create a custom audience of a contact list and exclude them for good. As long as you've gotten them, just exclude. So that's kind of the way I would do exclusions, right? Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the question. And we have a few over here, but now we have another one from Melvin. Melvin is asking, can you run conversion ads for Shopee, Lazada, or is it traffic only? If yes, how? Okay, the answer is yes and no. Okay, if you have CPaaS, you can run conversion or catalog ads. But essentially, I would recommend you go for catalog ads. Now, if you're selling on Shopee, there is this thing called CPaaS. CPaaS is really, when you are reaching to a certain level, Shopee would group all the products you have in your Shopee store and share that as a catalog to your Facebook ads account. And in turn, you're able to do retargeting effectively based on people who browse your product and didn't purchase, people who purchase and all that. So with that case, you can use catalog sales and aim for conversion right away, which is you can. But if you are not having CPaaS, then you can only use traffic at this point of time. And if when you are using traffic, my recommendation is don't go for landing page view, because landing page view is only being counted when the person reached to a destination that you have a Facebook pixel installed. But essentially, when you're driving your audience to Shopee store, you don't have a pixel installed over that. So in that case, you should only go for traffic. However, like I mentioned just now, even when you're running ads using traffic, you should and you must learn how to qualify your audience, because if you're driving directly, let them go over to Shopee, you lost the connection. You won't be able to do retargeting. So you want to learn how to use the two-step funnel. Even you are driving traffic objective, and even if you're driving to Shopee, you must know how to track the audience, because you want to do retargeting, because that is how you can increase the likelihood of being successful in running ads for your marketplace. So that's really the most important thing. Okay, so Sri is saying, thank you for clearing the air, no problem. And how many ideal interest targeting audience would you suggest in an ad set? We talk about this, Sri. Okay, I'm a person who do not go for very complex kind of idea targeting, but it's really not about the detailed targeting number, how many you put in. It's about the audience size. If you remember what I mentioned in my 6-day challenge, I believe you went through, I have a benchmark of the audience size that you should go for based on the budget that you're having. So don't get too obsessed about the detailed targeting thing. To be very frank, it may not be as powerful as you think. And now, so I don't have a benchmark for this. I don't have an idea interest targeting audience and whatnot. So okay. And looks like you might come back for 6-day challenge with many doubts. Wow. I mean, of course, because now, now the thing about 6-day challenge is you go through on your own. It's no longer live training. It's no longer live training. You sign up, you just go through on your own. You can actually watch it as many times as you want. So no problem. I do different kind of live training already, like the group challenge, like mentioned just now. But you don't come into a group challenge and ask Facebook ads question. I wouldn't allow that, all right? Okay, so thanks for that, Sri. And Melvin is asking, how do I do effective retargeting ads when I use the messages objective? When you want to do messages objective, your retargeting should be really people who actually either they started messaging but when they started messaging, you already got them. You probably don't want to retarget them. You should retarget based on content view, maybe. You can use video, and then you can actually retarget based on people who watch your video based on certain amount of time or something like that. But you don't want to follow them for too long. You see, when it comes to retargeting, I always want to point out, the biggest mistake that you might be committing is you follow them for too long. Let's say, for example, a lot of people tend to do, oh, I want to target those people who watch the video up to 25% in the last 30 days because, you know, the longer the duration is, the bigger the audience, right? But here's the risk. That means when I watch your video up to 25%, I'll be seeing the same ad for the next 30 days. So would that make an impact on me? Yes, the impact would be I would hate your brand because I keep seeing your ad for too long. And second thing is I would not buy from you. If I want, I probably would have done it in the first 3 to 7 days. But if you keep following me for that long, you're wasting your money. So that's what I think when it comes to retargeting. All right. So yeah, Melvin, thanks for the question. And Sri said doesn't matter. It's okay. You know, we change and all that, right? But if you want to go further, you want to do Facebook ads and you want to talk to me, ask questions like this, you can do it here, or you can join my inner circle, which you can't join right now. You have to go through either one of the challenge to be offered. Anyway, all right, guys. Yeah, this is good. I always love my Sunday AMA session. This is already 37 episode. Wow, I've been doing this for 37 weeks, and thank you so much for joining me along the way. And yeah, with that, we wrap this one. I'll see you again on, wait, before we go. Melvin is asking about creating a successful lookalike if I'm only using messaging objective. Well, it depends, okay? My answer is very simple on this one, since you popped the last one. Lookalike may not be as powerful if you're not using the highest quality audience, okay? Like, for example, if you're only retargeting people who message you, and for those who message you, maybe you only converted 5%, then it's not quality. It's not going to work. You should use people who run, let's say people who purchase. That's high quality audience as a seed to create lookalike. If not, it's not very powerful, to be very frank. And lookalike, as I observe, the performance is kind of like shaking already in a way. So yeah, you know, sometimes you want to relook into the whole strategy again. So that's what I think. Okay. So Stu is saying, really commend and appreciate my consistency. Wow. Okay. Irrespective of the number of audience attending. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad. And Distroran is saying thanks. Okay. Thank you so much. All right. Thanks, guys. Yeah, let's wrap this one. If you want to learn from me, go to my website, pick any course that you want to enroll, go ahead with that. So with that, thank you so much, guys. See you next week. Bye.